I'm at 4020 Hammond Boulevard in Hamilton, Ohio. I'm doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a home. We're looking for any structural issues, root intrusion, anything that would be of concern to the buyer. Access point here is a stack clean out that somebody basically just crammed in there. It's not even threaded correctly, and then they just gooed a bunch of black caulk or something around it to get it sealed, as you can see there. So I'll put the correct cap in it, an expansion, even though I shouldn't. They should have known to do that. I'll put an expansion plug in there. This is cast iron. It's probably going to switch to clay once it exits the house. Cast iron is not a bad material, but it is hard to tell whether or not, or how thick or thin the pipe walls are. So you're looking for any obvious breaks or cracks in the line. Cast iron is also more susceptible to soft clogs, which is like excessive toilet paper. Wet wipes are definitely something to steer clear of, just because of how they, the inside does rust, and so as it rusts, it gets really rough, so it tends to catch things a lot easier. But in this case, it's a very short distance, so you shouldn't have to worry about it too much. And it switches over to clay as soon as we exit the house, and we already have some root intrusion, and so this is really common actually. Probably 80 to 90% of all the clay lines that I do have some form of root intrusion, and so this is not uncommon at all. And that lens is only about a half an inch off the bottom of the pipe, so the amount of water sitting there is not a big deal. But the roots do need to be cleaned. So we'll try to push all the way out and get it through. It looks like there's some little holes left in it to where it probably isn't backing up currently. But the line does need to be cleaned to get the roots out. And then we'll also need some periodic maintenance, most likely, once it's cleaned initially. I usually recommend chemical treatment. The most common one is called Root X, and you put that down through there and it should kind of foam up and burn back the roots, basically, to keep them from causing any blockages. So far structurally the line looks good. I don't see any breaks in the line or cracks or anything. You just have some roots getting in at the pipe connections, which old clay lines only have they're in about 3-foot sections. So there's a lot of connections and a lot of opportunity for roots to get in. And so usually over time what happens is the connections in between where the pipe connections occur, there is some packing, some large, where the male and the female come together, the male and female ends of the pipe. The packing, a lot of times, like a mortar or whatever, can kind of break down or crack and shrink. So it just allows roots in, and they find water and fertilizer all in one place. So they love it. So it's very, very common. Seems like really once you get down so far, there's not a whole lot here. Most of the line so far is in really good shape structurally. And here we are at the main. Just trying to get some of the stuff off the camera. But the line looks really good as far as structurally. But again, this will need some regular maintenance to keep the roots down. Those are back, we'll take another look at it, but I wish we didn't have that. A little bit of haze there in one corner of the, this happens sometimes with the roots where you'll get a little bit on the front of the camera, a little bit of grease or something like that, but it's hard to shake off, and we can still see, but it looks like all the root intrusion is up closer to the house. This is so frustrating. Get that. There. But most of the roots are from about here and back. You can see a little bit there. About 35 feet back. Most of the serious ones are even closer back here towards the house. And only the first few connections. Which, these are the worst here. About 24 feet. See, they're starting to get to the point where they could catch some debris, so I'd recommend a cleaning before, especially right here. I recommend a cleaning before taking occupancy, and then treat with a chemical about once a year. And then so 24 feet. The worst ones are right here at about 19, 20 feet. So 13, 19, and 24, or 13, 20, 24. And here we are back in the cast iron. And here we are back out. So really the line looks pretty good structurally. Just a few spots, really the only spots that are really a concern to be cleaned are at about 13, right around 20 feet and 24 feet. Those were the heaviest spots of roots that would need to be cleaned, and I would recommend that they be cleaned soon, and then again do some preventative maintenance in the future. Put some root X down there to kind of keep the roots from growing, and the directions are on the bottle, but usually put it down before you go to bed. Run it out just enough to catch on the roots, and should keep those roots held back so that they are, you know, not a problem and don't grow into the line far enough to cause any obstructions. But yeah, structurally the line looks good, and so I would, so once you get an initial cleaning and you do a little bit of maintenance, it should be functional for years to come. I didn't see any structural issues now or at the time of inspection, so most of the line looks good. Just a little bit of maintenance, and this is very, very common. So just make sure you're doing the maintenance, and it will function properly for years. So that'll end the inspection at 4020 Hammond Boulevard in Hamilton, Ohio.